One of the fundamental problems people have with the New Republic is that we don't really care about the New Republic at all. By the time the Hosnian Cataclysm rolled around, we really don't care other than, oh, this is what the heroes of the original trilogy were fighting for, and then just went on our merry way. And new viewers aren't exactly invested in the destruction of the New Republic at all because we aren't given much reason to care. Which is sad because there's clearly some interesting politics present in the expanded universe material. And given the success of the Andor series, I think the New Republic could get a series dedicated to its own politics. In the novel Bloodline by Claudia Gray, we see what kind of politics exists within the New Republic, which really should have been on the big screen. The centrists were a faction of senators who wanted a strong and centralized government, and it was also filled with Imperial supporters and First Order infiltrators. And the populists were a faction who wanted to devolve power to individual systems. Didn't help that the Constitution was basically written by Mon Mothma, who neutered executive power and didn't fix any of the problems that plagued the Old Republic. It's an interesting note to see that both the centrists and populists have such a romantic view of the Empire and Republic respectively, which would be an interesting conflict. And as seen with the Ahsoka series, we see firsthand how ordinary citizens still have loyalty to the Empire. After all, the Empire enriched them, and with The Mandalorian, we see that the New Republic has difficulty projecting power to the Outer Rim. An Andor-type series could work fine. An old order may fall, and a new order may rise, but it is quite difficult to change hearts, especially when you have a generation born and raised in the Empire, and other generations who were so indoctrinated that they feel like the Empire is such a great thing. It's not like we have zero examples of authoritarian regimes collapsing either violently or peacefully, and then the democracy that comes up out of it has a ton of problems. Spain, for example, transitioned to democracy without a war, but it had to come to grips with the fact that it is the successor to Franco's legacy, and it's a debate that's still happening to this day. Taiwan was a military dictatorship until the 90s where they democratized properly. Yes, it was bloodless, but even now they have issues discussing, okay, who are we? Are we Chinese and do we want to orient our markets towards China? Or do we want to be Taiwanese and orient our markets towards other places in Asia? Then there's Germany, who tore apart Europe, leveled entire cities, wiped out entire villages, and committed multiple genocides, got partitioned, and are dealing with the effects of said partition and said legacy to this day. The Soviet Union, likewise, fell apart, and the states that spun out of it have to come to grips with their past as part of the Soviet Union, as subjects of the Soviet Union, and how they are related to the Soviet Union. And currently, that relationship between Russia, Ukraine, and the Soviet Union as a whole is being answered with a lot of artillery shells. But those are just my thoughts on it. Please consider liking, subscribing, tipping the channel on Ko-fi. This is Cyril signing off.